is up, guys? Hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I hope you guys also like the new intro. I decided to change it up a little bit by going back to the original music I used probably 6 or 7 years ago. So if you're an OG subscriber and recognize that intro music, then big shout out to you. You guys have clearly been watching for a while. But all that aside, let's get into today's video because we have kind of an interesting but kind of a sad video to film in some regards. So for those of you that may know, a few years back I did a fort series. Now I've done a few fort series on the channel, so the one I'm in reference to is the third one. The first one we only made one video on. We were going to make more, but Gavin and we built our fort at a park. It was in these woods off of a park that pretty much no one ever goes to anymore. And then the city came and demolished all the woods soon after we started, so we had to scrap that one. Started the second series, and that one was a huge, massive fort. We made a ton of videos on that one. It gained a lot of support, but unfortunately the fort was just too big for us, and we just couldn't maintain it anymore. It was just too much work. We didn't have the resources, so we had to destroy that one too. But come to number 3, and I've done this one primarily by myself. Eli did help a little bit, if you guys remember him. I did this fort, and it worked well. It stayed up for a few years, and has been doing pretty well for the most part. But, as you can probably see by the title and thumbnail of this video, unfortunately, I think that the fort is pretty much met its end. So we are going to be going down to the woods. I'll be explaining this a little bit more in depth here in a second. We're going to be going down to the woods today so I can show you guys kind of the end of an era. Alrighty guys, so I realized that the last time I probably filmed a fort video, my channel probably had like 75, maybe 80 subscribers, and I think we're currently sitting at around 330-ish. So I realized that there's probably a lot of viewers out there that don't know what the heck I'm talking about. So I'm going to briefly explain kind of the fort series. It's simply what it is. It's a fort that I built in the woods. I decided to truly put my construction and architecture skills to the test and build myself a little fort, just a little hangout down in my neighborhood woods that I could chill at whenever I wanted to. So these woods are connected to my neighborhood. These are technically building lots, even though they're like half an acre and on completely wooded and on a big slope going down. So you're going to have to clear all the trees on each lot. The lots I think cost like $45,000 a piece, and you'd have to build on a walkout basement. So in every house out here has to be entirely brick. So to build a house out here probably easily costs you at least $600,000+ to build a house that would fit in this neighborhood. Most of the houses out here were built between 2000 and 2004, even though they've just recently built 2 more houses out here, and they might even be building on the lot I'm currently standing on sometime soon. Don't know when. I think there might be way future plans for that, but nothing currently has come out of it except maybe some clearing of some areas, which I'll show you here in a sec. But they used this area as like a dumping ground, so there were tons of like 2x4s, wooden planks, stuff like that all out here. And I used those with some other materials that I had found kind of on the side of the road, stuff that I got now, like my grandparents' house after we were cleaning that out, to help build this fort. So I built it completely myself, never paid a single cent for any of the materials I used. Everything was either my own or I found it somewhere. And it lasted for about 3 years. So I think I started it in October 2019. I think we finished it in April. And I did 95% of the work myself entirely. So it was a great little quarantine spot when COVID shut everything down in 2020. This was a great spot to come out here and just get away from everything. So it's really peaceful, beautiful view, beautiful scenery out here, but unfortunately is the end of that era. So let me turn this camera around and show you guys what's up. So that's when you first enter right there. And as you can see, there's been like a massive path cleared. This never used to be like that. And there's a whole open spot right here. So I think that this is the lot that they're going to try to maybe build a house on at some point pretty soon. Don't know when that will be, but all I know is that this is not the lot my fort's on. Mine's on the building lot beside it. Let me show you guys the fort. That's what you all been waiting for, so I'm shut up and show you. So these were my steps that I built going down. I don't know how sturdy that they are anymore, but these are steps I made going down. I built the fort into the side of a hill. That's what's left of my fort. Very sad to see. Very, very sad. We had, oh, there's some crickets. We had a ton of rain and snow this year, and it has just been enough to just obliterate this thing entirely. But as you can see, I found hinges literally on a post, and I took them and literally used them. Like, everything I found laying around this area. There, you can kind of see the bricks in that little grate right there. We had a little fire pit in here. We had this like box with a screen on it that we had storage in. There were 2 chairs. This piece of wood right here was the door, and it actually did swing and open and shut. It didn't latch, but it did close all the way. And there was a plastic wall you can barely see over there that had a little window. It was part of the original fort. It was like a playhouse wall. Here it is. So first noticeable thing that you can probably tell is that there's a tarp on it. I put that tarp on there and nailed it down really good so that way when you're inside of it, no rain gets in. And the tarp was on our old fort and it fits perfectly. Here's what it looks like inside. This is the window, fire pit, the view, phone holder, my car key hook, the chairs, and the thingy, and then that's what it looks like with the door on. Unfortunately, this fort has come to an end. This was our view. We had a beautiful view kind of overlooking the ravine in the woods, and it was even cooler in the early spring because you could see a lot clearer. But as you can see, it was built into a hill, and those were like the steps that we came down. There's like the top right up there where my finger is. But sadly, this is the end of an era. Figured I would give you guys a little update on the fort. If you never have watched those videos, you can check them out. I believe I have a playlist that is public for everybody. I did a few videos on the specific fort back in 2019, early 2020. So anyway, this is pretty sad. I might go down and check out the rest of the stuff. So I'll show you guys where like the original fort was. So I finally made it through all the brush, but this is where the fort for Fort Series number 2 is. You can see this has just become an overgrown mess at this point. There's some pieces of wood still left down here. There's like a bucket. There was Gavin and my old trash can. If you guys remember that from very, very long time ago, probably about 4 years at this point. This brings back many, many memories. Looks like somebody at some point tried carving something into that. I can't read what that says now. But man, this one is completely gone. There's like very little remnants of it. There was our old hunting stand that we found that we set up as a chilling chair, and then there was the view of the field over there. So this one is on the lot that they're actually going to try to build on. So this one likely will someday be completely wiped out of existence. This is kind of what the current fort looks like from a lower angle. The fact that after all this time, this piece of wood is still intact is unbelievable to me. I think that this wood right here was the reason why it stayed up for as long as it did, was because it's kind of a retaining piece of wood for the dirt, so the dirt doesn't go just sliding downhill. I know that this was probably a shorter video. I've been putting up some long ones recently, so I want to do a little bit of a shorter one. I did want to show you guys kind of how this was going, what it looked like now, kind of conclude the Fort Series once and for all. And yeah, I think that's about it. Man. So I'm probably going to end the video off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and slide that bell if you did. And I will catch you guys next week in another video. See y'all.